welcome back everyone, and I've got something in today that I wish we'd gotten a little sooner, because this probably would have made an excellent Christmas gift. Unfortunately, we're past that at this point, and what I have in today is a desk set, a mouse and keyboard from Azio. So we have their Retro Classic, which is one of the go-to options for retro keyboards, and their RCM, their Retro Classic wireless mouse. So let's go ahead and get both of these out of their boxes. We'll start with the keyboard. So we've got a paper sleeve on the box that tells us that we have the Bluetooth backlit mechanical keyboard Elwood, which I believe also works as a wired keyboard. We're going to test that. And we have a nice magnetically closed box that includes a few things. So we have a cleaning cloth. We have our Retro Classic, Bluetooth USB, so it does do both. User guide, shows a picture of the artisan, gives a quick tour of how to charge it, your mode indication, how to pair it, all of our normal things. There's a Mac versus PC mode, which is going to do a couple of different things. Number lock, caps lock, scroll lock, Windows key lock, so you can disable the Windows keys, and just normal stuff. Gives you some of the function keys, what they do, PC versus Mac mode, warranty support, which how long is the warranty for on these? It doesn't actually say on that. Does it say on here? I'll have to check their website. Unfortunately, the user's guide here goes through the warranty claim process, and that it goes to the original purchaser, but it doesn't say how long it's for. Not that that's as critical. It also comes with, it came with a warranty card. So for the warranty period. But what is the warranty period, guys? All right, the warranty card includes the keyboard serial number and model number, however. We get a piece of plastic that protected the keys. A warning to keep the bag away from babies and children. Here's our keyboard itself, and then there's also a nice braided USB Type-C cable, as well as, and I think we've got a couple of things in this package. There we go. As well as some tape. These appear to be, some replacement keycaps. So some of your keys are pretty universal. Some of them, like on our number pad here, it says clear by default. Well, I get a num lock key instead. The F11 key does something different in Windows mode versus Mac OS mode. So you can swap your keys out to be appropriate based on which mode it's in. And it looks like these come out pretty easily. I'm going to have to double check exactly whose stem that is. It's different than the last keyboard like this we looked at. Function 15. Obviously, these would be something different on a PC. It looks like it comes pre-configured for Mac. And then on the back, we've got our Mac PC switch, a Bluetooth USB off switch, our USB-C port, something with a couple of screws here. So before we get too much further, I'm going to grab a screwdriver. and open that up, I have a hunch that that is a compartment to replace the battery. Alright, so if I pop these open, and then grab a slotted driver, I'm going to bet that one of two things is in here. All right, and lo and behold, there's the battery, and I'm actually really glad to see this. So, number one, I didn't use any fancy tools to get to the battery compartment, so this is absolutely great. I used a Phillips and a slotted screwdriver, and I probably could have just used the Phillips screwdriver in my fingernails if they were a bit longer. But in here we have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery and a socketed connection. So if you call in and you say, hey, my keyboard's not holding a charge anymore, they can literally just send you a replacement battery, or that's a pretty standard connector. So if 10 years from now, if you have one of these, 10 years from now, some other long time, you can just replace the battery. Now, I do think there's a missed opportunity here. These keycaps aren't too tall for me to think that they could have designed a compartment in here on either side to have somewhere to put the extra keycaps. Because my fear is, and maybe they'll send replacements out if this ends up being the situation, that I would take this and I'm going to reconfigure it for Windows, and then the Mac caps, I don't have a bag that came with it. I don't have a compartment on the keyboard. I do have the potential to lose those. Now, in my particular environment, that's not likely to be a huge issue. I don't see myself purchasing a Mac anytime soon, and it wouldn't be the first time someone used a keyboard, with PC keys for an Apple product. But since it came with them, I would like some way to have been included here to keep track of them. So that's our keyboard. Changing the keycaps is really easy. So my first two notes are some kind of container for the keycaps, either built into the keyboard or even just a bag. A little bag that says Azio that I can put the things that I don't use, my warranty card, stuff like that in, and the extra keycaps. And the other thing is, there's no keycap puller that was included with these. So I have no tool to replace the keycaps. Now I have a keycap puller and they're relatively easy to remove just with your fingers. But other mechanical boards, even ones that haven't shipped with replacement keys, come with that. They're just a piece of plastic with a couple of metal spring wire bits on them. These, if I'm not mistaken, I thought all right, I'm turning it the wrong way. These rotate. That is an excellent way to handle the height adjustment. So let's bring this back in here. So these, they just rotate. They rotate in, they rotate out. That's great. There's no feet to snap off. The action locks wherever you leave it. So you have, obviously not infinite variability. You can't have the keyboard up this high. But freedom to configure it as you see fit. I absolutely love that. All right, so let's set the keyboard to the side and let's get the mouse out. This is the RCM Retro Classic Wireless Mouse. And we have the same type of thing here. It has a sleeve. And then this box has a couple of little felt tabs on. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at how, and there's a magnet in the cardboard. Excellent job on the packaging. So let's start with this part. This is the mouse. We've got I don't know if this is leather or if it's vinyl that's made to feel like leather. Does it genuine and luxurious interchangeable top leather cover. It feels good. Right away, a couple of things I'm seeing. So we have a DPI adjustment built into the mouse, on-off switch, Bluetooth and RF, and then connect. So that's something I've talked about with some of the Logitech products before, is having an ability to use them on multiple devices. So out of the box, I can plug this keyboard in wired and hook this mouse up via RF, and then take a second computer, a compute stick, something from Azio, a mini PC, something that's behind a TV, and then if I switch over to Bluetooth, I can grab that device. So that actually means that this mouse and keyboard can be paired to two devices without too much fuss. Once again, we've got USB Type-C for charging, which is excellent. We have another little booklet, which is going to include another warranty card. Yeah, that's just a printed warranty card, and then the user guide for the RCM that's going to go through, how to pair it via Bluetooth, what's included in the box, your top cover, it comes with an RF receiver, your warranty card, all of those little things for the setup, connecting it in RF mode, connecting it, repairing it so you can repair them to the RF receivers. In this little bag, which this bag should have come with the keyboard, and I'll probably end up using it for the spare keys, we have a branded bag with another braided cable. Now these cables are different, and I'm going to give Azio credit here. So what they've done is they've actually got two different Type-C cables. They're not just cramming the same one in both boxes. The keyboard is a much stiffer cable. It also has one of these magnetic barrels on the end, and it is gold plated for whatever that's worth. A couple of little strings left over from that bag. The mouse comes with a more flexible silver cable. They're both 2.0 to Type A. The cable that came with the mouse is a little bit slimmer. Functionally, they'll both do the same thing. There's some strain relief on the keyboard one. Realistically, there's no real difference between the two. You get one of each if you buy the set. If you're using both of these wirelessly, there's no issue with doing so. So here's the interchangeable top cover. This one is just standard plastic. This feels more like a traditional mouse. It does not feel as good as the leather cover. But for some people, you're going to prefer that. And there's some situations where this may hold up better than this will. I believe you can get different colored covers for it. They actually show in the manual here, there's a couple of different variants it came in. Does it show how to change it? I think it just lifts up and off. Setup. Oh, okay, so you just lift up and pull back. And then here's their little RF adapter. And then that's it. And if you want to put the other cover on, it's just the same stuff and the opposite. Nice clicky mouse buttons. Does it say what DPI it's rated for? So we've got a PixArt sensor rated for up to 3000 DPI. Fairly typical 1000 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. Type-C charging. 3-button. Scroll wheel is clicky. Scroll wheel feels good. Feels like it might rub a little on this cover. Let's take it out and see. Yeah, the scroll wheel, maybe it's just mine. The scroll wheel on mine is actually slightly misaligned with the rest of the body. I may send them a note about that. It's not bad, and it doesn't rub on the leather cover, which is just the plastic cover coated in leather. But the plastic cover that came with mine, you can hear it scrape. So a little bit of a fit and finish issue here, which is disappointing to see. Overall, really impressed with the general design and build quality, but it looks like we've got a small fitment problem here, which I will tell Azio about, and hopefully they can correct. So that's it. That's the RCM Retro Classic mouse, and this is the Retro Classic Elwood, I believe it was called. Yeah, the Retro Classic Elwood. Definitely excellent design, excellent style. By the way, this is real wood. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. You can actually feel the grain of the wood on here. And depending on who you are and what you do, that's going to be good and bad. Some people, actual wood is going to be a problem if any kind of environmental factors come into play there. But it's absolutely beautiful to look at, and the mouse pairs well with it. I would have liked a light brown leather to match this wood grain, and maybe they could, depending on how flexible this particular type of wood is, do a like bonded plastic veneer for the RCM. I think I would like a still a larger angle than this provides by default, but maybe that's just me being crotchety and old because my normal keyboard is a Model M, wanting higher angles out of everything. But the fact that it's adjustable is excellent. All right, so that's all we have today. If you have any questions about this, if there's something you want to see me do with these, let me know. I'm going to be using these as the daily drivers for a while, which is actually going to mean that this gets more use than any other keyboard we've looked at recently, because we're all working from home. So it's not like I'll have one keyboard at work and one keyboard at home like I normally would. Obviously, I'm going to switch it over to the Windows layout off camera. But anyway, so I'm going to be using this. If you got any specific questions, let me know in the comments below, and we'll make sure to cover that in the full review. Obviously, we'll do things like a typing speed test. I'm going to do a battery life test on both devices. Personally, I probably would prefer the keyboard be wired. That's just a preference thing. But I may also grab a Bluetooth dongle because my desktop doesn't have Bluetooth and pair both devices to that. So, you know, once again, any questions, let me know in the comments below. We'll try and cover those in the review. And closing out, I do want to say thank you to any of our patrons and anyone who helps support us for using our Amazon affiliate links. It is stuff like that that helps make content like this possible. I also want to thank Electrix for providing our opening and closing themes. And finally, thank you for watching.